Hello, and welcome to our next podcast in our series. This is actually the August and September podcast because just so many things are going on in August. So let me first by saying our hearts and prayers and stuff are out for our instructors that are in the path of the upcoming hurricane. Certainly we'll stand by with anything we can do to help you. If you need anything, just give us a call. And good luck in the next couple days. Today is Wednesday, and literally by today through this weekend, we'll know whether or not it's coming ashore and what damage it's going to do. And we do have literally instructors up and down the East Coast, so hearts and prayers. And if you need something, please give us a call. Okay, onward to the podcast. First thing is, remember, when we send our emails out, our newsletters, or even the podcast, there's a lot of information that comes out in this podcast that you need, or changes, or things to be fixed. And we hear from a lot of our people will call and ask the question that was literally just answered, either in the newsletter or in the podcast, which then tells me that you're not reading the newsletters or podcast. When we ask people, they go, "Oh, well, I get so many emails." Well, that's true. We get anywhere from 150 to 200 emails a day that have nothing to do with us. With that said, still each one is reviewed and deleted. That way we can see which ones actually do pertain, and we do read those. So you kind of need to do the same thing. We are kind of like your work email. We don't send out 10,000 emails every day like some of these companies do. But when we send something out, we expect you to read it because it really does pertain to something you're actually doing. Okay? So please don't call and say, "How much is a card again?" or "How do I get to my e-cards?" Because no, we've answered that question. We've held classes. And if you go to our calendar and look, we offer an e-card class. We run it at least once a month. We've only had instructors take us up one time. Turned out to be a great little class. And we're going to continue to offer that. The reason we're continuing to offer the class is we do not have time to literally spend an hour with you on the phone explaining how to send an e-card. Again, we've got instructors that want questions answered, things done, an emergency card sent or something like that. The bottom line is we can't spend an hour on the phone with you when we're offering classes for you to learn how to do that. By now, this is not something that should be new, and yet we still have instructors asking about e-cards. That should not be. You should know how to handle them by now. Okay? Come the end of this month, again, we are in September now. The end of this month, we're going to raise the price from $5 to send your card for you to $10 to send your card for you. How do you stop that? Order your cards, send your own cards. Okay? We started sending cards as a favor to get people used to how the e-cards work. We transitioned that to $5 a card to try to cut down. We only have a handful of people that still do that, and we need to get them off the phone and sending their own cards just like everybody else does. So it's only a handful left, but the price is now going to go to $10 a person. This is our way of saying you can do this yourself and save $10 a card. Okay? Enough said about that. I don't know why that keeps coming up or why we have to keep doing this. Okay, Thursday evenings. Thursday evenings we're going to start doing an Instructor Enrichment class. Now, the question asks, what is an Instructor Enrichment class? Well, what that is, we've got questions from time to time. For example, the newest thing is the Advanced Bleeding Control program that we're offering, adding to our first aid classes. We want you to do the same thing. So we're going to start operating a Thursday evening class. So you can come in here, we'll go over different topics. For example, the advanced bleeding is one, bloodborne pathogen is another possible one. Things like that that maybe you're not sure of, or new programs that are offered by American Heart Association or by ASHE. We will go over, show you how to teach it, what it requires, what to do when you have these type questions or that type questions. Pretty much not much I haven't seen or done. So I'll be running those classes here in the evening for you to actually catch up. Now, how's this work? Call Kathy, as you've called Kathy in the past. Call Kathy and say, "Hey, listen, I'm interested in the Thursday enrichment," and she'll take input from you as to what you're looking for. So if, say, you are interested in the advanced bleeding control, the quote Stop the Bleed program, then she'll set that up for us that Thursday. The next person calls in, that means that Thursday we're running advanced bleeding control. Next Thursday maybe we're doing bloodborne pathogen, or the next Thursday after that something else. So we'll set it up depending on what you guys wish. You tell Kathy what you're looking for. We'll set it up so you'll learn how to teach those particular classes, how to do that, everything about it. Okay, that'll solve that problem. And again, there's no cost for that, for you to come in for the instructor enrichment. Okay, we'll do that for you. Okay, we're now into September, and you realize in just a couple weeks we're going to be doing the instructor gathering. Now, the room's already reserved. Our group is actually going down tonight. There's 2 of them that'll go down tonight to look at the menu, taste test some of the stuff, because they constantly change the menu, and decide, what tastes pretty good, maybe that's not such a good thing, and pick for the menu for this coming instructor gathering. That's coming up quickly, and we only have a handful of people signed up. So you're starting to make me nervous here as far as who's coming. So please go on our website, click on the calendar, go into the instructor gathering, and get signed up. So we know how many people are coming. We have to give that to the caterer, but we're already committed as far as the dates and times. Okay, we're doing another little note here in reference to our instructor monitors. For the most part, they're going very well. We are seeing some folks that literally, it's kind of like, did you ever look at your video? Because the video would have shown you how to do something and you're doing it completely wrong. So we've had a couple people that have really not seemed to understand how CPR even works showing up in the monitors. And our instructors that are watching the monitors, as well as myself, you'll get a little memo saying, hey, you did this wrong, you did this right, this was good, this needs improvement. That's the whole idea behind the monitors. We can send a person out to physically sit there. Time and energy, just can't do that. Not for 500 instructors all over the United States, for that matter, all over the world. So, but we can do it electronically, and that's what we're doing. But again, remember, we're watching either a mock class, where you're simulating the class, but even if you're simulating the class, what you're teaching your mock students have to be the real information. And so, for example, if you're got a, quote, a family member that is a mock student, and that's okay, it's still a real class. So if they lock lips in the mannequin and don't pinch the nose, we're going to pick up on that. If they use the bag valve mask incorrectly, they've got an adult mask on an infant, we're going to pick up on that and say something like wrong mask. Fingers across the chest on the infant. Yeah, no, we're going to pick up on that. So remember, even if you're doing a mock class with a couple people to demonstrate a typical classroom, it's still, in all intensive categories here, the real thing. We're watching it as if it's a real class. And so you need to make sure that you're still doing what you would normally do. You can't shortcut it, because then we're going to pick up on, hey, this wasn't done correctly. And we'll have instructors go, oh yeah, well that was my next door neighbor and he's done this. Okay, it really doesn't matter, because we're looking at it as an actual class. Okay? So if you're going to do that, I don't care. It's multiple ways you can demonstrate your class. But when you're doing it, hey, it's the real thing for us. And we're monitoring it just like it's a real class. So, enough said about that. That's going very well. As far as a lot of them we've done have done just excellent, which means there's good CPR training going on out in the field. Only a couple that we've had to literally say, no, you need to do this again. Okay? And if we do say you need to do it again, that means, yeah, you need to set up another class and do it again. Because what we're going to do is stop selling you cards, because you haven't done it again, so we can make sure it's correct. Okay? All this goes back to making a better class, teaching it correctly. Nothing against you. It's certainly not personal. We want everybody to teach these classes really good, because the better you are, the more lives get saved. And really, that's really kind of what it's all about. So again, coming up, quickie reminder to call Kathy, let her know what you'd like to see on the instructor enrichment programs in the evenings, and we'll set that up for you. Probably get a pizza in, so we'll share pizza and talk about what you need to do and how this works. Should go over pretty good. Other than that, this is somewhat of a short video because kind of not other things going on. But we are gearing up for the Instructor Gathering. Remember that. First Sunday in October. It will be here before you know it. So again, thank you for watching the podcast. And if you've got ideas or suggestions for the podcast, as always, just give me a shot or give Kathy a shot. Let us know, and we'll add it to our things we talk about. Okay? Again, thanks.